Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. I'm serious, it doesn't work without you guys. And here it is. Wow, looks like we're being left out here in the cold right now. It is, it's actually quite beautiful because I have really not seen snow this year. Normally we get, a few snowstorms in the DMV area, but this year it's been so warm, we've got flies that are still, haven't died off because of the winter. And we're up here at Deep Creek and got a few inches of snow, a few inches of snow here, and it's quite beautiful. Back over there, you can see that's the creek that leads out to the the creek that leads out to the Deep Creek Lake. So it's really beautiful. And as always, the sun came up again this morning. And I'm headed back to my house. And I'm going to be probably hunkering in. Going to be working on shot glass racks. And trying to wait through and try and bring you guys as much news and information as possible. So last night at 11:59, the voting stopped for the players to vote on the CBA. DeMar Smith, after I went to sleep about 1 o'clock in the morning, actually tweeted out a 3-page response about the whole thing, saying basically it's great that we can actually vote on an extension here with time to go, and wanted to thank all the players and everything else, but believes it was a great thing that it was put in the players' hands to go ahead and make the decision. Well, generally speaking, when an agreement is made, how you usually know if it's a good one is nobody's happy. That's a fact. If one side's real happy and the other side's not, then the other side got fleeced. It's the way it goes. Only time will tell if it is a good agreement or not. And I'm sure that both sides will say they got screwed in it in the long term. But the reality is, for us, Joe the fan, we're talking about billionaires and millionaires fighting over money that we'll never see in our lifetime, that we, in fact, are financing. What we really care about is watching a great game that we know is up and up. So while we're spending all this time on how much people are getting paid, I hope we spend as much time on the officiating as well, so that way we know that teams aren't losing opportunities to go to a Super Bowl because of missed opportunities. That there's no question that a team truly won or lost by what they did on the field and not by somebody else's hand. But I digress. So the NFL and the NFLPA are going to be meeting today now that the the vote has been done. There is a law firm or whatever that's doing the official count, and they're going to certify the 2,000 votes and then go ahead and give you a final result. I don't honestly understand why it takes that long for 2,000 votes that have been going on for over a week now, but hey, be that as it may. I guess this is kind of like when you're watching a television show and they're about to come up with the answer, and of course then they go to commercial. It's the Masked Singer here. Take it off, and you're just waiting. Okay, who the hell is this singing? That's all I want to. Who the hell is this singing? So they're stretching out the drama for as much as they can. That's what they do, because they know we are hooked. We're drug addicts when it comes to football. Man, I need a fix, man. It keeps calling me, man. It keeps calling me. I just want to see a game, man. I just want to see a game. That's how we are. In other news, because if after this meeting with the about the CBA and the owners and the NFL Players Association, they're going to make final decisions on what's going to happen as far as the next week or two, whether free agency is going to go off like business as usual. Sean Payton kind of said, I don't see how we can, and thinks that it should be delayed. That's possible. There are ways that you can continue to do this, and I think the NFL, if there's any way possible that they can, because they can be the alternative to the 24/7 coronavirus coverage, that they would like to be that. They would like to have people on pins and needles like we are, at least looking at this. As you are watching me right now, it's a lot better to think about, what player is going to be coming to my team, what hope I have about, improving my defense or my offense. Am I getting a new quarterback? What are we going to do in the draft? that is one of those things that's actually good to keep our mind off of other things, especially if we're going to be, stuck at home with nothing else to do. You don't want to just constantly watch. You're stuck at home and the world's coming to an end and yada, yada, yada. Let me think about something cool. Let me think about the football season that's coming up in September. So, interestingly enough, a lot of people say that Tom Brady is the linchpin to free agency. There's speculation that, he doesn't have a new deal, that he's going to be a free agent, and a lot of teams are hoping that they can get that guy. And if they can't, then they'll make a decision on somebody else. Oh, let me drink some coffee. My hands are getting cold. And, of course, we have Dak. Dak, we can probably say, is going to be tagged so that way they have some more time. But what's interesting is Dak Prescott is actually a linchpin as well. Here's what's interesting, because people will say Dak Prescott's not worth it. He's not an elite quarterback. He should take a team-friendly deal, He's greedy. Well, this is the way it is as far as the NFL. Very few people say, Sean Lee did come to the team last year and say, look, I just want to play. I'll take a pay cut on his own because he loved football that much. He knew he'd made enough money for his life. It's about the love of the sport. But that's few and far between. Most people have the attitude of, I'm going to get mine. And other players, they don't have a problem with that because they're going to say the same thing. I'm going to get mine. I got mine. Now it's your deal to get yours. So as we say that Dak Prescott is greedy, let's take Kirk Cousins, for example. We keep saying if we sign Dak, we're going to lose players. We're going to have to not be able to re-sign some of our free agents and yada, yada, yada. Case in point, the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota, who said, we need a quarterback to get us to the Super Bowl. We got a great defense. We got a great team. We were one step away from being at the Super Bowl. All we need is a quarterback. And so they went out and they paid Kirk Cousins the biggest guaranteed contract ever. Fully guaranteed. 3 years, $88 million. He's played 2 years of that. 2 years of that, he's got one playoff win. And because they are actually in financial difficulties, Kirk Cousins' number this year is $31 million. They didn't have money for free agency. So they have now cut 2 starting defensive players. And they had also hoped to get a new deal with Kirk Cousins to reduce his cap number. And they have sent him several different offers. None of which, ain't doing that. Not good enough. So when we say that that Dak Prescott should be a team guy, that he needs to understand that if he doesn't take less money, then we can't sign people. Ain't nobody talking about that with Kirk Cousins, who already has made $100 million and is scheduled to make another 31 guaranteed this year. So that guy's gotten $131 million, and he's not taking another deal that will pay him more money to reduce his cap number. And they're already cutting players so they can try and be a player in free agency. Even after cutting 2 players, they only have $20 million of cap space. So, I'm just wondering, by all means, why the hell is nobody saying anything about that situation? Here's another thing that's interesting. Because the Kansas City Chiefs have the same issue. They have $13 million. Everybody says you got to pay Pat Mahomes. I agree. Super Bowl MVP. Great quarterback. Stud. He deserves to get paid. But to pay him, you got to go ahead and cut off an arm and a leg. You got to get rid of players. Players that were valuable to that team making to the Super Bowl. But I don't hear the outcry of, he needs to understand that he's Super Bowl MVP. He's going to get endorsements. We want to continue to wear Super Bowls. Nope. Only the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Kind of funny, isn't it? I know what a lot of you are saying. Yeah, but, Kirk Cousins, he's an elite quarterback. The Minnesota Vikings, they beat the Cowboys with Kirk Cousins. Dak lost that game. You mean the game that Dak Prescott threw for 397 yards, that our kicker ended up missing the field goal, and when Dak's hand was hot and we were moving down the field, our coaching staff decided we're going to run the football with a Zeke Elliott who'd only rushed for about 51 yards on the day because Minnesota said, we are not going to let this guy get a yard. And I think Kirk Cousins threw for 200 yards that day. And oh, by the way, I believe Dak Prescott is 6-1 against him. So we'll see what we're going to see. Hope you guys enjoy the scenery out here. Get back home and see what it's like there. Everybody, take a deep breath, relax, woosah, keep your head. Panicking never solves the problem. Okay? We all gonna be okay. I'll see you guys later.